Let's dive into it, Boulder. 3 weeks in the fall camp, and we're preparing for that Georgia Tech game. It's coming up soon. Don't worry. Week roughly and a half, we get college football week 1 hits. Week 0 is in 1 week. Roughly 2 weeks, you're going to get, 2 weeks, we'll say. You're going to get Georgia Tech and Colorado in Boulder. And, of course, prime time. It's going to be exciting. So we know it's going to be a big deal. So to prepare for that, let's talk about that defensive line, who you need to know about. And we got to ask this question. Can the Buffs outdo what they did last season and still lead the Big 12 in sacks? Let's take a look at it here on the Prime Time for College Football. Thank y'all for pulling up. Your boy Jay. You know we dive into everything with Prime, the family, as well as these Colorado Buffaloes. So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification to make sure you don't miss any videos. And so you also don't miss the Primetime College Football Podcast. It's going to start the week of game week. And we're going to make sure we get you 2 episodes a week diving into the Buffs and a few bonuses with a few guests. I've already got some people lined up, so it's going to be a good time. So let's jump into this defensive line, though, because, man, last season, the Buffs was cooking everybody in the Big 12. Totaled out the end of the year 40 sacks, bro. That's a lot. With over 206 pressures, they maintained the pain on that defensive line. And I expect, once again, for this team to do that going into the Big 12. Now, the schedule is tough. So the questions are asked, can the Buffs maintain that because of having a gruesome schedule and playing against some of the best in the Big 12? I think so. And this is why. When you look at this roster, man, a lot of veteran savviness with snaps from last season. Ukunlola, 452. You got 441 out of McNeil. You got 385 out of Arden Walker, who's a beast. But those career snap numbers are lovely. Bringing in a Tavian Coleman at 1,259. You've got Lightfoot coming over, 1,148 career snaps. So overall, this defensive line is extremely veteran. And it's got a lot of nice size, too. You're riding with a bunch of 300-pounders right there. I mean, Brandon Davis-Swan over there as an edge rusher freshman, 290. Most of your D linemen are over 300 pounds at least, at 300 plus, with Taron Carter working his way into that weight. But you've got a lot of dudes with big bodies. So if there's one thing that I know that the Buffs want to do is have a dominant trenches. That's why you bring in a Warren Sapp to come in and help coach, right? That is kind of a key thing that you want, is to have domination at the trenches. You want to have big bodies and dudes that can move. The player that we're wanting to see, if he's going to translate well, is going to be Jaheim Otis, the Alabama transfer. You know, he was a top recruit back in the day, has a career snaps of 671, didn't play very much last season. And so we got to see if he can bounce back and give you a good year. But there's also a player that I think, as a freshman, you keep your eyes out for. We'll talk about that in a minute. So make sure you stick around for the rest of the video. But I am loving where Colorado is right now on this defensive line. So if I'm going to guesstimate the starters, Walker's definitely one on the outside. You know, that transfer has come in and he's made it happen all last year. He was a very, very, very pleasant surprise as a transfer. He had 27 total hurries, 5 pressures, 2 hits, 18 hurries. So he was in the chest of quarterbacks on a regular basis, right? And you got to figure out who's going to replace BJ Green. And I think that that's where Walker comes in. He's going to be that dude. And then Okunlola is also going to be still out there. 4 sacks last year, 4 hits, 15 hurries, a total of 23 pressures calculated by PFF. A lot of you dudes got it. Defensive dudes, nasty. The edge room is great. And then McNeil came in and was a big shocker. You know, he ended up playing 11 games, finished over 440 snaps in there, but he had 3 sacks with 18 total pressures on the season. That's big. And so you're bringing back a lot of the players that participated in that ridiculous defensive line you had last year. I mean, yes, you lose BJ Green with the 43 total pressures, McCoy's out at 17. Chidozi's out at 11. Cokes is at 11 total pressures. Keaton Wade. You know, you got a little list of folks that are gone, but a lot of these players are ready to step up and take over and be those next dudes. And so the best part for all these coaches, Coach Pecco as well as, you know, Coach Sapp, they've got a lot of good interior guys to work with. And so all the Buffs got to do, continue to push. Now the question is still, can the Buffs finish this year with 40 sacks again? It's going to be a tough one. But I think based upon the way the schedule is set up, when I look at it, the competition on here, I think they can do it. I think they have the opportunity to go out there and put up another dominant performance on the defensive line because they've got all the dudes that can do that. And so then you got to look at the young players. We start looking at the young guys out there. I think that London Merritt kid, true freshman, 6'3", 250 already. Yeah. He's one that I think is probably going to be a massive surprise for all you Buffs fans coming in. He's going to be one that I think that he may find himself on the field on a regular basis. And then we, of course, got to shout out Nikhil Webb-Walker, who's back. He only played 10 snaps last year. You know, he was out because of his health, but he's back now. And those career 356 snaps, you want that 6'6", 275 frame to play. He's back, and he's going to be on the field this year. And that got your boy excited. Can't beat it. I love when Prime brought him out and was talking to him or whatever, talking about him. That just warmed my heart to see that now he's recovered and he's going to be back out there on the field. So keep your eyes open for that, man. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. How y'all feel about the Buffs defensive line this year? Can they outdo last year's 40-sack performance? I want to hear your thoughts. We'll jump in and talk more. We'll talk offense now. Now we got the defense done. We're going straight into offense, and we'll work with the trenches first, offensive line, look at the skills guys, running back room, tight ends, and then, of course, we'll wrap up with the QB battle on who we think is going to end up being the starting quarterback. Y'all should have an idea if you've watched my videos, so hit the like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you don't miss any of them. But I think it's kind of easy to tell who's going to be that dude. We'll keep your eyes open on it. Make sure you stick around so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. Break down all of that, then we'll break down the roster. So make sure you check that out. So videos, of course, here and in here. We'll go that way better. So you can check them out. Review room as well as the latest video. And yeah, we'll chop it up with each and every one of y'all in the next few days.